He's living his gimmick.
He's
I don't know if he's crossed the line, but he's the nature boy, Jared. Come on.
He's jets flying, limousine riding, wheeling dealing, kiss stealing, and broke off his rear end. And it's sad, and I hate to make fun of Nature Boy because he did so much for professional wrestling, but I mean, come on, man, just get a grip. You know, do whatever it is you have to do. If he would have just stayed in WWE and signed his Legends contract, he'd be making really good money. Vince McMahon takes care of his guys. In fact, if you've read To Be the Man, which I have several times, you find out that he had some debts and things that actually Vince McMahon helped him clear up. And I also believe, I didn't read it in the book, but I actually have read online that at one point Vince McMahon actually hired a financial consultant specifically for Ric Flair to help him get his finances straight. You just got to hope the best for the Nature Boy. Obviously, his career is all but over. He's going to keep making appearances in the ring, but he's not wrestling a full schedule, obviously. But you just got to hope for the best for Ric Flair at this point, and hope that at some point he'll get it straightened out and not leave a mountain of debt for his children when he dies.
You know, you talk about a shell of his former self. And
I hate to
case in point, right there.
You hate to look at it like that because, I mean, the guy is literally considered on a grand scale to be the greatest professional wrestler to ever live. But I guess sometimes it's like you said, when you're just living the gimmick, it's hard to let go, and it's hard to save money when you're the Nature Boy.
Now you can go through that many divorces, that'll empty your wallet pretty quick.
Was
it two, three?
Two or three. Actually, I think he just had his third one a few years back. So hopefully he wises up and decides not to get married again.
These wrestlers, I don't know what it is. Him and Hulk, prenup? I mean...
Oh my gosh. Holler, we want prenup? Hello, did Kanye West teach you nothing? And in the aftermath of Over the Limit, we were brought Monday Night Raw from Portland, Oregon. We're going to give you quick match results, and then we're going to go into some of... we're going to pick some of the points of the show that we liked, and maybe even some that we didn't like, and discuss them. David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy win the tag team titles, further flushing the tag team division down the toilet, in my opinion. Another title switch, another pointless title switch, and boom goes the Dynamite.
Most importantly, David Otunga is now a 2-time tag team champion.
Awful. Jack Swagger beats Evan Bourne in a squash. Kofi Kingston over Drew McIntyre in kind of the same way. And Rey Mysterio and John Cena over CM Punk and R-Truth in a tag match with the assist from the Hitman. So let's talk about Raw a little bit. Let's talk about some of the points we like. Matt, I will give you the floor first. You pick out a couple of things that you enjoyed about Monday Night Raw.
Oh, it was nice seeing CM Punk back on commentary for the short 5 minutes it was. I did miss that from over the summer.
I'll give you that.
Or him on NXT.
His catchphrase, had he stayed, would have been, "You spilled my diet soda."
Yeah. But aside from that, it was a quick 3 minutes that he was on commentary. Alex Riley's turn on Miz. It was a long time coming.
Yeah, I think Alex Riley's going to give a chance. I think he'll be given a shot. And you talk about a guy who's got talent. He's got a good look and he can talk. He's got a real shot to make something happen.
He does, but I mean, he's been eating so many finishers over the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
That does he have the credibility? Can he get that back if he just goes to SmackDown with a fresh start?
He can get there. They just have to give him the opportunity, give him the microphone, and let him be himself and not try to sugarcoat it and make it something that it's not.
I think if he had a match with, Sheamus, they could have a nice brawl going on.
I think if he wrestled Randy Orton, he'd be looking pretty damn good. That's just me. I'm actually a pretty big Alex Riley fan. I actually like what he does, and I think he's got a lot of potential. He's
definitely stepped it up over the past 2 months. When he first came on the scene, the Varsity Villain.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I'm hoping that's dead and gone.
I think him in the 3-piece suits and everything, I think that fits him really well. I think that fits what he likes to do.
He's definitely so well improved on the mic. I mean, he came out and did that promo where he wanted to prove to Miz that he could beat John Cena, and throwing that mic down the ramp is that's what a statement. I mean, it's just showing how far he's gone, because you believed that he was tough. I mean, I believed it.
Absolutely,
I believed in him.
A huge step up for him. I personally thought the Savage tribute was very well done, very, very classy. I read some things online where I don't know if people missed it or what, but people were upset that there wasn't more of a tribute to Randy Savage. I thought it was very tasteful, very well put together. Probably the best video segment they've had in a long time.
It was definitely really well put together, but here's why I think people are upset. You tune in, you see the title card, Macho Man or Randy Savage, rest in peace. That's it. And then you come to Jerry the King Lawler walking out. So I think a lot of people watched Raw and were probably blogging at it at the same time, like, that really that's all you're going to do for him?
Yeah.
The biggest legend. So, I mean, if they tuned off, they didn't see that great video package. But
yeah, it was truly a great video package for the Macho Man, and they did a really nice job with that. Also, I like the throwback CM Punk did, the trunks. It's just a small, just a little something you can do. Very classy by CM Punk, who's been known in the past to not be such a classy guy, but definitely a guy who respects the old school.
Oh, yeah, he came out in that pink and the yellow boots, and you just knew, like, that, it warms your heart to see him do that. And
you knew that it meant something to him, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, he was definitely broke up about it, and it's, what a way to, like, I mean, it wasn't very subtle, like, bright pink, but it was definitely very fitting tribute.
And for me, the coup of the night, the best thing for me, and it'll always be the best thing as long as he keeps showing up on Monday Night Raw. Bret the Hitman Hart, my favorite wrestler for my entire life. The guy, showing up on Raw and having a part in the show. It means a lot to me as a fan to see them, giving him the spotlight, giving him the limelight, and letting him do some things. Even if, they say all is forgotten and everything's okay. Even if you're still not in the best standing with the company, even if there's still animosity or whatever the case is, to be able to see him come out and perform on Raw, even if it is in a small role, it still, as a wrestling fan, it takes you back to when you're younger. It takes you back to a time that's a little simpler when, you were just a fan, you didn't know so much about it, and you just kind of marked out to whoever you liked. Well, Bret Hart was the first superstar that I really latched onto and really became one of my heroes. So even now, when I see him on TV and I see him come out and make appearances and, put a sharpshooter on somebody or whatever, I still feel that on the inside. So it was a great moment for me to see him come out and make an appearance.
It was great to see the kids react to it. I mean, he went and gave that kid his glasses, and the kids, knew who he was. I mean, all those little, 8-year-old kids who were big fans of wrestling, now they knew who the Hitman is, and
absolutely,
it was great to see them react to that. And
absolutely,
it made for a really great segment. I watched that actually just a few minutes ago before coming in here, and chemistry between R-Truth and Bret Hart. Who would have thought that those two would have a good segment? I mean,
and Bret Hart said many times, to be one of the best, you have to be able to have a good match with anybody, even R-Truth. Even though they didn't have a match, they just had an interview segment. But I think the same thing still applies. So that is your quick results for Raw. Overall, a decent show. Obviously, all the stuff with the Macho Man was hanging heavy over everyone. I thought the main event was pretty solid. Enjoyed it. I thought
that was the most you could get with mixed tag like that.
Yeah, especially for guys who don't really, you don't really see all four of those guys in the mix together. So
all four different kinds of styles. It made for a good, decent match.
I think the difference between the way I view wrestling and the way a lot of the Smart Mark quotes, I'm doing finger quotes even though you can't see it. I like wrestling. I don't want to criticize it too much. I don't want to break it down to the point where I don't enjoy it. I will point out segments that I don't like. I will talk about things that I didn't enjoy, but I'd rather just more or less tell you about the things that I liked and what I found good about the show. I think there's a lot of wrestling fans out there that take it a little too much to heart, and you hear them talk about, oh, the ratings did this or the ratings did that. That's not for me to worry about. I just want to tune in Monday night or Wednesday night or Thursday night or whatever night wrestling's on and just enjoy a good show. If it's not such a good show, then I'll probably talk about, I didn't really like this segment or that segment, but when you get into breaking it down piece by piece and you take it to such an element of, he came out and his pop wasn't as big as it should have been, or, the tights don't match and they're just not doing this right and they're not doing that right, and the commentary lagged. I mean, why go there? I mean, yeah, you can be down on a match that wasn't that great, but why not just focus on the next one and hope the next one's even better? And I guess, that's kind of a tangent, a little bit of a side note on me and how I judge a wrestling show. I'd rather pick out things that I enjoy rather than just bash it and hate on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the best way to enjoy the product no matter what happens. I mean, just sit down and be. Here we go. Be the figure quote. Just be a mark.
Yeah.
For 3 hours, 2 hours, depending on what kind of show you're watching. Just enjoy it for what it is, and then afterwards, if something makes you mad, then I guess it makes you mad.
And here's something else, and this is just a bold thought. And please, everyone at home, if you're drinking something, put it down. I don't want you to choke. But if you don't like it, don't watch it. Yeah. Bold thought there. I know it's an escapist theory, and no one wants to think about things like that. But if you just don't like the show, just don't watch it. So, really, what I'm getting at is when you listen to our show, we're going to break down shows, and we're going to give you the good points. If there's some things that are obviously bad, we're going to give you that too. But for us, it's all about, as fans, staying on the side of, I'm still a fan, and I still enjoy this, and I still want to watch wrestling. I still want to enjoy it. I want it to take me back to a time when I was younger, and just, we all want to be kids at some point, and I've watched wrestling since I was 4 years old, and it's been a huge part of my life ever since, and, that's just the way it is. So that is your Raw results, and that is a look at the psyche of me. Even if you didn't want it, you got it anyway. And from there, we'll move on. We're going to talk actually about Christian, our thoughts on him losing to Randy Orton at Over the Limit. We're not going to do Over the Limit results. We know you already know who won. If you watched Raw, you already know what happened. So, but we are going to talk about Christian a little bit here, just for a couple minutes. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but Christian loses to Randy Orton convincingly. Randy Orton gets a clean win. And then they do the handshake at the end and all this stuff. I gotta say, I was hoping for a Christian heel turn or anything, just something. Give me something, please. I'm a huge Christian fan. Give me something to hold on to let me think he's still part of the main event picture. And it just seems like they just throw it away. Yeah, it seems like they just killed it.
Like a mutual respect thing. That means, all right, I'm not going to demand another title shot. I'm not going to attack you from behind. That's it for Christian in the main event. Is what after seeing that match, that's how it ended.
Absolutely, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for the fans, and it's frustrating for fans anytime.
Not just for me being a Christian fan, because I'm a huge Christian fan. I think he's phenomenal, but for the guy, you have to feel bad for him because he was on the verge of
really making something happen.
Yeah, and I think before that whole thing with Edge retiring happening, he was on the verge of being in that main event picture anyway.
Yeah,
that heel turn was coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was coming, and then Edge's retirement, everything switched.
We have to say it's not too late. With wrestling, it's never too late. But it does appear at this point that, at least to me, not to be a naysayer, but it does appear to me at this point that his push may be either over or coming to an end. I know SmackDown, they always like to do the shakeups. They always like to change things up a little bit. But you'd really like to see him maintain. And we'll just have to see what happens from there.
He's definitely lost his momentum.
Yeah, the air is out of his sails. Had he lost, even if it was a clean loss, and then they made the turn, and he was able to get over on Orton after the match, I'd believe it.
I mean, you definitely saw that heel turn coming, 2 months ago? I think there's a backstage segment where he's looking at Edge's title, and, he grabs his chin, and he's thinking, you see it coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, Edge's retirement has changed a lot, and...
Well, the whole scope of SmackDown changed with Edge's retirement. I mean, would Randy Orton even be on this show?
No. I don't think he would.
There's just a lot that goes into it. But we just wanted to give you that quick little segment. Obviously, both of us are huge advocates for Christian. We want to see good things happen.
The Christian Coalition.
Absolutely, Captain Charisma. We want to see good things happen. But right now, we're going to get into our top 10. And this is a topic that is debated. I mean, you don't even have to think on it. I mean, this is top 10 WWE superstars of all time. Our lists are slightly different. Actually, slightly to moderately to very different. But I'm going to let Matt give his list first.
Fire and ice, you can say.
Fire.
Maybe.
Oil and water.
Oil and water. They don't mix, but